What's up all you lads and ladies? Welcome to another fascinating video in the world of Reddit. If you liked the video, post your favorite Reddit comment below, and I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Thanks to Rafa BR in my last video who commented that he had not heard from Gordon Ramsay in a while. Want to know my opinion, Rafa? Maybe he's just not that into you. Hope you enjoy this video about air conditioners and why they feel a different kind of cold than natural cold air. Oh boy, can't wait to sit through 10 minutes of this. Explain like I'm 5. Why does the air conditioner cold feel so different from normal cold? Air conditioners also remove humidity from the air. The dry crisp air from the air conditioner feels very different than the more humid cold air outside. To expand upon this, dry air more readily accepts humidity, making evaporative cooling from sweat more effective. Yes, this is why in certain environments you can die from being outside in very hot, very humid weather. Because sweat literally stops working, the air can take any moisture off your skin. Unless you stop sweating before that happens. Learned that lesson the hard way one summer. When you have a tall glass of water and then start sweating immediately afterwards. I got a headache just reading this comment. Humidity has an effect for sure, but everyone is missing the elephant in the room. By far the largest effect is that the air coming from the AC must be much colder than the current room temperature to have a noticeable cooling effect. If you want all the air in the room to get to 70°F, a 65°F exhaust just isn't gonna cut it unless you want the AC to be running constantly. It's gotta be more like 50°F, and a 50°F wind is sure gonna feel different from 70°F still air. Try putting a thermometer directly in front of an AC vent and it will become obvious very quickly. A similar point, when you come out of a cold environment, your skin is cold, your body has moved the blood away from the skin to preserve its warmth. So the controlled temperature air inside feels warm against your cold skin. When you walk from a warm environment, your skin is hot. Your body has pumped blood to the skin to get rid of excess heat. So the air inside feels cold against your hot skin. Even though the inside temperature inside would be warmer than it was before. Came here to say this and saw 100 posts about humidity. This is a better answer. Air conditioners work both to keep sensible heat, temperature, and latent heat, humidity, in check, ideally at the same time. Thermostats are typically controlled only by temperature, so if the humidity is high, a dehumidifier can help, and if the humidity is low, a humidifier can help. Generally, the comfort range is a relative humidity between 40–60%. If your AC is maintaining the space within this range, as well as maintaining temperature, you are most likely comfortable. There is also the factor of air movement that helps give a perception of added cooling. If you are in an area of a space where you can feel air movement, you are more likely to be cold. This is due to a couple factors. First, the air coming from your AC is generally pretty cold, most likely between 50–60 degrees. It has to be cold to get the air below the dew point temperature to get the moisture out of the air. Same concept as condensation on a glass or rain. Unless the air is reheated before being delivered to the space you are in, the air you feel coming out of a diffuser/grill will be approximately the same temperature as the air leaving the AC unit. Second, the act of air moving over your skin has a cooling effect, same way fans help make a space seem cooler. The moving air helps to dissipate heat and evaporate sweat, adding to the cooling effect. You don't mention what you consider normal cold, but assuming you mean the cold outdoors in the winter, this air is typically very dry and you can have effects from wind that would make it seem colder. Wind chill factor. Air conditioners work both to keep sensible heat, temperature, and latent heat, humidity, in check. Somehow I love the idea of there being sensible heat and stupid heat, like humidity has no damn business being hot. Frick humidity. Air-conditioned air has the drier air, as some mentioned, which makes a huge difference in humid climates, but also, air-conditioned air is blown out of the vent with some velocity. This allows for more heat transfer than still air. To add to what others have stated, an AC has basically two modes: on, off and fan. It doesn't output 72 degree air or 68 degree air, etc. The compressor just turns on and generally runs, depending on the setting, until the ambient room temperature becomes lower than what you have the temp set to. When the temp raises above that threshold, it kicks in again. Remember to clean your air filters. It only takes 2 minutes and doesn't require tools. Modern DC inverter ACs can run on any cooling power they want. Swamp coolers. No refrigerant. Take in hot dry air. Pass it through a moist radiator or cloth, where some of the temperature energy is used to evaporate water, and cooler, humid air comes out. So this air feels thick, damp rather than crisp and thin like the outside air. Also, in an air conditioning environment you are inside, away from the sun's infrared rays, which even on a cloudy day, will warm you. I've been an HVAC technician for 30 years, so here's the deal. An air conditioner is a dehumidifier. Your comfort level isn't reached when the temperature reaches 72 degrees. It's reached when the humidity level has dropped. So, a 2-ton system with a 2-ton evaporator coil, the part that gets cold, might have to get down to 72 degrees to feel comfortable. Whereas you could have a 2-ton system with a 2.5-ton evaporator coil. Changing the metering piston from a 2.5 ton to a 2 ton to match the outdoor unit might only need to get down to 75 degrees to reach your comfort level. The reason is you have a half-ton more evaporator coil space to capture and remove the humidity. 72 degrees would actually feel really cold at that point. That's also why a dry heat feels better than a humid one. Because hopefully you only put the air conditioner on when it's hot, and when it's actually cold you leave it off. Also, it dehumidifies the air. Defrosting your car windows in winter works better with both the air conditioner and heater on. AC not only makes the air cold, but it also takes the water out of the air and puts it outside. Another point to make. Air conditioners don't work by blowing the air temperature that you set it to, they only blow one cold temperature. So if you're expecting to stand in front of an AC and feel 65 coming out, that's not how it works. The temperature sensor then cuts the cooling mechanism when you hit the set temperature. Good answers here. I'd also venture that part of it is the fact that air conditioners force cold air to circulate more. As a result, you're getting a constant supply of cool air over your skin. Whereas in a plain old cold room the air closest to you is warmed a little bit by your body heat, until you move, a door opens, etc. Very simply, air conditioning is like a dehumidifier, but with the added cool function. Its prime function is to draw away the moisture in the air, hence the sharp cool feeling it gives out. Because it's fresher cold air than all the other cold air around it, once it mixes in with the rest of the air around it, it becomes like the rest of that air, and not as refreshing. I doubt a 5-year-old would understand the chemistry of humidity, so I went a more humorous route. Nobody is mentioning airflow. I mean, try to heat up your small room in the winter and open the window slightly and put your hand to it when there is no wind outside. This small cold airflow will feel quite the same. Usually if you have cold air coming from somewhere it's a big fast airflow. And AC is a much colder air that flows from the small hole and slowly, quite unnatural. My whole house AC stopped working and I just threw 4 units in 4 windows. I think they don't dry the air, because the heat exchange occurs on the exterior and it's what I believe is called a closed loop system. But there's no air exchange from outside, inside. Where is the condensed water vapor? The air from an air conditioner has the same texture as a breeze on a bright, cloudless January morning after a cold front rolled in and turned the snow crispy. There are a lot of wrong answers here. I especially like how a lot of people say, because AC dehumidifies without any explanation what that means. Without knowing exactly what you mean by they feel different, there could be different factors for it. The 3 that come to mind. Humidity differences. If you are comparing it to really cold outside air, like 30 degrees, the relative humidity of AC air is going to usually be higher. In warmer weather, outside may have higher humidity, depending on weather and the temperature. Temperature differences. AC air is typically 55 degrees. Unless you are comparing it to 55 degree outside air, it will feel different. Air circulation. Air movement affects how it feels. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell like it owes you money. Remember to post your favorite Reddit comment from the video for a chance to be featured in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic video about life advice. Show a small channel some love by liking and subscribing. Take care. Pip pip cheerio. Much love from me, Matt British.